Welcome back to Card Corner. Today we are doing an unboxing and review of the Black Dog playing cards and the FLORENZ Sonhos playing cards.
All right, we got two new decks here from Komorebi. This was a double release. We got a new edition of the Sonhos playing cards. This one was made by someone named FLORENZ. So these are the FLORENZ Sonhos decks, as well as their Black Dog collaboration deck. Both of these decks were made for cardistry experience. That's why there's an XP over here on the Black Dog, stands for experience. The FLORENZ were made through a contest, I believe. People submitted designs and ideas, and the best one won. We're gonna do these decks one at a time. We're gonna start off with the Black Dog. So here are the Black Dogs. Should have been called Long Dogs. Look how goddamn long this dog is. On the front of the tuck box, we get Komorebi right here. We get some of the design on the front of the tuck box here that wraps around the side and continues onto the back. And we get this kind of star-like design that kind of spreads out throughout the rest of the tuck box. The side here just says Black Dog XP. These were made through WJ and they are a print run of 300. It's got a pull tab so you can open your cards nice and easily. The tuck box is nice and soft.
Before we continue with this review, if you liked this video, please make sure to like it. It really helps out my channel. And of course, if you'd like to see more playing card content and reviews, make sure you subscribe. You can even hit the bell button to get notified when new videos drop. Back to the review.
Whoa. Boom. There's the back design. It's a long dog. Ooh, very nice. I love me a yellow deck of cards. They really pop out. To start the deck off, we get this Komorebi extra art card. It features the long dog with the Komorebi symbol here as well. Komorebi, the black dog runs at night. Okay. So do I, brother. And then we get a card here that says 5 years, which is, it's been 5 years of cardistry experience, I believe. I think this was the last one, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it's 5 years of Komorebi, I'm not sure, because there's another card that says 5 years here and there's a Komorebi symbol there. I don't know. I really don't know anything about cardistry experience at all. Here's the Ace of Spades, cardistry experience. Komorebi kind of creates this house silhouette. The spade is split in two and flipped, which is really cool. And for the pips here, as you can see, we get this kind of flipped design. Usually we get the A here and the spade underneath it. Now the spade is on top of the A. I think that's pretty cool. Komorebi is known for their weird kind of pip takes. And this is actually one that we haven't seen before. So props to Komorebi for actually being able to make a new type of thing still. And that continues on with the rest of the cards. I really like that design right there. I think that's really cool. For the court cards here, we get that long dog. The queen is facing the opposite directions of the others. We continue to get that pip design throughout the hearts. And of course, the red court cards are the same, just red. And it looks like that's basically the whole deck. Straight out of the box, these feel really good. Honestly, I'm not joshing you. I'm not pulling your leg here. And I know I say this all the time because WJ is constantly improving, but this doesn't even feel like a WJ deck to me. These feel so smooth and so nice that I might have mistaken this for a really nice Taiwan deck stock. Now, if you know me, you know that I love a good Taiwan stock. The cards are like starting to get smoother. They're not like as plasticky, as smooth finish feeling as a lot of WJ decks tend to be. They're starting to become way more of a linen feel, which is fantastic. That has been my number one thing with WJ. They grip to your hands just a little bit too much. I like that soft, smooth feel of a linen deck, and these feel like that. This is actually kind of crazy. As much as I talk about how much I don't like WJ, I am, believe it or not, rooting for them. Cause like, I'm still buying these decks. I want these decks to feel good. So I really hope these hold up. but right out of the box, they feel incredible. All right, this is a double unboxing, so we're going to skip the out-of-box review and just move on to the other deck. All right, here are the FLORENZ Sonhos playing cards. This is the third deck in the Sonhos line. The first edition was the Sonhos Insights, and then we had the Sonhos Brutalist cards that came out. If I'm being honest, both decks, feeling-wise, was a bit of a disappointment. These were both made in Taiwan. They don't feel like the really good Taiwan decks that I usually like. They clumped up quite quickly. I thought the first edition was all right. It kind of grew on me, but overall, I thought the designs was just all right. I really liked the Brutalist design. It's simple, it's snappy, it's bold. It's very cowboy. It looks really good. The only thing that was holding it back from a perfect 10 was the feeling and handling. So I'm excited to see what these feel like given what I just opened with the Long Dog. I'm never going to call it the Black Dog deck. Why wouldn't you just call it Long Dog, bro? God damn, that's stupid. All right. On the front of the tuck box, it says Komorebi here. It starts with the design on the front and it wraps around to the side and to the back. And just like the other decks, we get that star design with the Komorebi logo. And then instead of 3, it says FLORENZ, because I guess this is like a specialty deck. On the side here, it says FLORENZ Sonhos, and then we get an exclamation mark. It's got a pull tab so you can open your cards nice and easily. We get that same soft tuck box. Whoa. Boom, there's the back design. Orange backdrop, black circle, red star. The red star is more of a 3D star as well. So far, so good. They feel pretty similar to the Long Dog playing cards. Right here, we get a page taken out of the blur department. We get an exclamation mark. Use oranges, reds, and blacks. Create a 3-dimensional star. These were the instructions given to make the deck, assuming. This was the same way with the Jakey Franks. They had a card that had their instructions on the details of the deck. We get some sort of portrait picture here. I'm not totally sure what this is a picture of. We get the Ace of Spades here, FLORENZ Sonhos Komorebi 2025. It's that 3D star with a black circle in the background of it. And we get some standard pips for this deck right here. We get the 5-star, which is in theme with the other Sonhos decks, or at least the Brutalist deck. We get that big, bold star design in the court cards, except these are all blacked out. But you still see the 3D effect with different shades of like black and grays. Okay, this is conflicting. I do like this look, but I feel like they should have stuck with the reddish orange design that they have on the back design. But we'll see if they do it for the red suits. All right, they did it for the red suits. Well, then in this case, that's good. All right, and that's it. We just get those 5 stars in the 5s here, and then we get those star designs in the court cards, and everything else outside of that is a pretty standard deck of cards. Like I said, these feel pretty similar to the Long Dogs. I'm being a really nitpicky cardist here. The Long Dogs feel like a hair better. I'm not saying that it's a different stock, it's a different finish or anything like that. They might be the exact same stock and finish, but we've heard this spiel before. Each individual deck is unique. You never know. Maybe just the temperature in the room when they were making this Long Dog deck of cards was different and they feel slightly better to me. These feel pretty close. Not quite as buttery as the Long Dog, but they do still have that linen-y feel to them that I'm looking for, so it's very promising. Without revealing like my score when it comes to the back design, I'm not sure about this back design. I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw this back design, I went, ugh. And it was like, I really didn't like it. I thought they were not good looking, like at all. Seeing them in person, they are a lot better looking in person for some reason. I don't really know why. That being said, I still don't know if this is my favorite Sonos design. I don't think anything is gonna beat the Brutalist design for me, but they are definitely better than the first edition, I think. Yeah, those are just my loose thoughts. All right, I'm going to handle these cards for a while and then I will be right back.
All right, here's my final score and review of the Black Dog playing cards as well as the FLORENZ Sonos playing cards. Let's start with the dog. Back design, I'll give this back design a 10. I think it's a really playful design. I think it's one of the more fun decks of cards that Komorebi has put out. I think the long black dog against the yellow is really nice looking. It's just a really fun, cool looking deck of cards. Feeling and handling, I will give the feeling and handling for the black dog a 9.6, okay? I'm just putting this out there. This is hands down the best deck that has ever come out of WJPC playing cards. Across the board, no contest. These are the best handling WJ playing cards that have ever been produced ever. Still no 10 though? No, I'm sorry. Look, these handle the best. They have the longest longevity of all of the WJ decks that have been put out before them. But that still doesn't mean that the longevity is as good as like a USPC deck. Yes, WJ is getting a lot better and it's catching up with every deck, but it's still not quite at a perfect 10 rating for me. Look, there are a lot of things that I really like about WJ that a lot of people also really like about WJ. I love how smooth the edges are as soon as you pop them out of the tuck box. Obviously, I also love how aligned all the cards are. We don't really get any misprints anymore like USPC does. All of the cards are center cut very nicely. The actual finish on the cards are also getting better. Like I said, it's becoming more of a linen feel, which is what I like, but they still aren't quite there. They're very close, but they're not quite there yet. Overall theme and aesthetic, I'll give these a 10. I really like the pip orientation on this deck. I love the court cards. I thought the court cards were perfect. I think the look of the back design is really good aesthetic for the deck. Very, very solid. That gives the Black Dog playing cards a total deck score of 9.8. So goddamn close, dude. All right, next up is the FLORENZ Sonos back design. I'm gonna give the back design an 8.7. I wasn't sure about the back design at first. It has grown on me. I think a star is a pretty good minimalist back design. I like it better than the first Sonos design. I don't like it as much as the Brutalist design, but overall it's pretty solid and it looks a lot better in person than I thought it did online, and it did grow on me more as I used it. So I think an 8.7 is a pretty good score. Feeling and handling. Look, I said it in the review as well, I'm a card nerd, I'm a stickler. This gets a 9.3 because it's still, like I said, like my first impression, it's like a hairline less good as the Black Dog handling. It's pretty damn close, but I feel like it's ever so slightly less linen-y, and I feel like these are clumping up a little faster on me than the Black Dog are. I feel like the Black Dog are lasting longer in quality. Might just be one of those things. Again, it could be the exact same specs as Black Dog, but I don't know, man. This deck is not handling or holding up as well as the Black Dog deck is for me. But everything else I said about the Black Dog handling is pretty true for this deck. It's still a really good WJ deck, and they still handle quite nicely. Overall theme and aesthetic, I'll give this a 10. I also think it matches its aesthetic very well. It does the same thing that all the other Sonos decks do. It continues with that 5-star thing. Having these big, bold stars in the Jack, Queens, and Kings is also very nice. It matches its aesthetics very well. Overall, that gives the FLORENZ Sonos playing cards a total deck score of 9.3. also very good. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below, what do you think of the Black Dog playing cards and these new Sonos playing cards? Do you have the decks? Would you like the decks? Do you like the decks? Do you not like the decks? Let me know. As always, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, send my channel to a card enthusiast, and I'll see you on the next one.